a new document on Onshape, and we are going to get started by making our cube for the die. So we're going to start by drawing out a square. So we're going to come up here to the top left, we're going to click on sketch. The first thing we have to do is select a sketch plane. So these are the sketch planes here. There's front, right side, and top. I'm going to draw it from the top right now. So I'm going to click on that plane, and then I'm going to come over here to the left, and as you can see it says top, front, and right, and there are these eyeballs. I'm going to turn them off just so it's not so confusing on my drawing screen. Then I'm going to come over here to the white space, right click, and go down to the bottom where it says view normal to sketch plane. So now I'm facing my object head on from looking at it from the top. So I am going to come up here to the rectangle icon. You can either draw at corner rectangle, or if you hit that little drop down arrow beside it, click on center point rectangle, and I have the origin here. I'm going to just click on that as my first point, and then I'm going to make my little rectangle or square. So I'm just going to do it like this. Right away, if I don't click anything else, you'll see that the number has a box around it and it's turned white. I'm going to change that to 0.5. Hit enter because our cube is going to be 1/2 inch. Then it goes to the next box, and I can do that again, 0.5. In case you did click something, the way to edit your dimensions if you've already clicked something is hit escape. I'm going to either double click on this dimension and change it. Let's say we wanted it to go to 1 inch, but we actually do want that as 1/2 inch. If you don't have these dimension lines generated, what you will do is create your own. So come up here to dimension, you will click on one of the lines, pull that out, and type in the dimension you want, which we want it to stay at 0.5, so I'm just going to leave it. Then I'm going to come over here to the check box, or the green check mark, and click that. So now we have our square. Whenever I'm extruding, so this is where we're going to add depth, make it 3D, I like to be in isometric view. So I'm going to come over here to my cube on the right side with the drop down arrow, click on that arrow, and select isometric. Now I am going to extrude this so I can actually make a cube. So beside the sketch button is extrude. Click on that. And you first have to select the face or sketch region that you want to extrude. We want to extrude this square, so I'm going to click on that. As you can see, it goes up automatically. I'm actually going to turn the arrow the other way and make it go down. Okay. So I want it to go down, and I'm going to type in 0.5 because we want it to be a cube, so 1/2 inch. There we go, and then hit check mark. Check mark. Now we have our cube. Okay, so let's get it back in the right view, isometric, and now we're going to do our one side with holes. So you want to keep the holes, like the numbers on the die, in the right order. So if you look on the assignment sheet, I actually have a layout of how the numbers should be, where the top and bottom and everything goes. We're going to start with the top. So I'm going to click on sketch, and I want to draw the 6 holes for number 6 on the top of my die. So I'm going to click on that face, and again I'm going to right click on that and select view normal to sketch plane. So now I am facing the top of my die head on. To learn about construction lines and a little bit more on dimensioning. So to create a construction line, which is a line that you use for guidance, it doesn't show up on your drawing. So it comes up as like a dash line. You will see we have to click 2 icons to get this command going. So you're going to click on line, and then you're going to click on construction. So now that we have those 2 selected, I can draw my vertical line. So I can go straight down. Make sure it's straight, and you know it's straight when it kind of turns yellow. You'll see it fills in those dashes. And then I'm just going to draw another one across here and go straight up. There we go. Hit escape. And then I'm going to do that command again for our horizontal lines. So I'm going to click on line, construction. The first one I'm going to put in is the center, and I can easily do that by, if I go on a line and like hover over it in the middle, you'll see when it comes up with this little square in yellow, that means I'm in the middle of that line. So I'm going to click there first and just drag this out to the other side. So there's our first one. I'm going to hit escape, click on line, construction, and I'm going to draw my other two. If you don't want to have to hit escape and click on those commands again, you can just click, go down a bit, and then go across. We don't actually need this line out here. I'm just going to delete it. And this one here as well, I can delete. So now the first thing I'm going to do is make sure that everything is evenly spaced. To do that, you need to use the dimension tool. So if I click on dimension, I want to relocate these vertical lines so they're evenly spaced. So I'm going to start at the left side of my square, click on that, then I'm going to move over to my first vertical line on the left, click on that, and then you'll see that dimension. I can pull up and it's between there, and I'm going to make that 0.15. You can pick whatever spacing you want as long as your holes are evenly distributed. I am then going to dimension from the right side to this right vertical line, and again I'm going to put in 0.15. I'm going to do the same from the top of my square to the first horizontal line. And this one, instead of 0.15, I think I'm going to do 0.1. And I'm going to do the same from the bottom of my square to this line. There we go. And we're going to make that 0.1. Okay, so now I have everything evenly spaced out. It's time to draw our circles. I'm going to come up to the top and select center point circle. I'm going to find an intersection for my first hole. So as you can see, when I hover my mouse and I'm in the right spot, like at the intersection of those two lines, it will show those two little perpendicular icons below my mouse. I'm going to click there and I'm just going to make my circle. Right away, if I don't touch anything else, I can type in 0.1. Again, you can make your circles, you can size them how you'd like. This is just what I'm using as an example. I'm going to come over to the next intersection, make another one, 0.1, and I'm just going to keep doing that. There we go, 0.1. In case you miss the window to edit that box because you clicked somewhere else, just hit escape, go up to dimension, click on that circle, pull your dimension out, and then edit your number. There we go. So now we have our 6 holes for the top. I'm going to hit my green check mark. I'm going to come over to my little cube here again and put it into isometric view. And now I'm going to click on extrude. This time we want to remove. We're not going to add anything. We want to remove. And we need to make sure we pick only our circles, because see, if I highlight, it gets the whole face. We don't want that. We just want our circles to be removed. So I'm going to carefully click on 1, 2. You just kind of have to move around the circle till you get the right 4. The number beside your mouse shows you, it tells you how many items you've selected. There we go, we got all 6. Right now the depth is set at 1 inch, which is going to go all the way through my cube. I'm going to change it to 0.1. Oh no, I'm going to change it to 0.05. There we go. You can even do less if you want. 0.025. Oh, change that again. 0.0. And you can see how far it goes. And then I hit the check mark, and now, as you can see, I have my little holes there. Okay? Always make sure, if you're wheeling it around, checking things out, that you go back to the isometric view so that you have your die in the correct order. You're going to then go on and do the next side. So again, click sketch. Maybe you want to do the front, see front. So I'll do the front side or the right side, but you do need to add the holes all the way around. And that is it for our die tutorial. Hopefully that is helpful.